Hi Libra, I'm going to rank the signs you are traditionally most compatible with, and I'm going to give you a super easy trick to use. 2 of the most fundamental secrets behind how astrologers actually make compatibility determinations, so that you can do this for yourself. After this video, you'll have some actionable tools to start figuring out how compatible you are with every person you meet. First, we'll go through the signs that are most compatible with you, and then I'll explain a bit about how it can still work out even with the signs that didn't make the top of the list. So to begin, one of the easiest shorthand tricks astrologers use to determine compatibility is by considering the elements associated with the signs in question. The doctrine of classical elements, fire, earth, air, and water, was first established by the Greek philosopher Empedocles circa 450 BC. Each of the 4 elements was assigned 3 zodiac signs, and Libra is Team Air. Air signs are most compatible with fire signs and with other air signs. Astrologers also use classical geometric principles to determine which signs have the most harmonious relationships. These principles were established by the Greek-Egyptian mathematician and astrologer Ptolemy during the 2nd century CE. Signs which are 180 degrees apart, opposite to each other in the zodiacal wheel, often have a special affinity for each other. It's the classic notion that opposites attract. Your opposite sign is Aries. These opposite signs develop a synergistic balance between them, and they tend to make a great pair. There's a very fated energy with these two. They often form deep and life-changing attachments. Even if they don't stay together, their relationship is still formative and deeply significant in some way. These are the people who have a very strong impact on you for better or worse. Because you're diametrically opposed, you have different but complementary traits, meaning each person has what the other person lacks. The key to making this pairing work is to appreciate the other person because they're different from you. It can sometimes be tempting to feel like they're an opponent when they don't do everything your way. But if you're open to learning from their perspective and allowing for some give and take, this can be one of the most rewarding matchups in the zodiac. With this pair, there can even be a sense of finding the missing puzzle piece or completing each other. The ancient Greeks who developed these astrological compatibility systems believed in the possibility of soulmates. In Plato's 4th century BC Symposium, he writes about how the gods originally created humans with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs. Zeus, the king of the gods, fearing his new creation would be too powerful and pose a potential threat to his rule, decided to weaken us. He threw down thunderbolts to split us all in half, so that humans physically appear as we do today with only 1 head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. The thing is, our original form only had 1 soul, meaning that once we were split, each person contained only half of their soul. Hence why we spend every lifetime here on Earth searching for our other half. We suffer the pain of separation and feel the strong desire to merge once again with our soulmate. The good news is that astrology can help you find that person, and it is often one of your core 6 most compatible signs. The signs which are 60 degrees apart from your sign in the zodiacal wheel are typically also an excellent match. These are Leo and Sagittarius. With these signs, you understand each other very well and have a good chance of working through any challenges that come up. You will likely feel that a relationship with one of these signs is particularly easygoing, cooperative, and supportive. Libra and Leo are an excellent match. It's hard to go wrong with 2 of the most charming and likable signs in the zodiac. Leo has a flair for sparkle and spectacle, and Libra has an eye for aesthetics. In combination, these 2 can create a life of beauty and tasteful luxury. Libra and Sagittarius, of course, also make a great team. The Sagittarian philosophical interests and their outgoing nature complement your keen intellect and graceful sociability. One way or another, every fire sign has something lovely to offer you. Think about what happens when we combine the fire element with the air element in the natural world. If we want a fire to burn brighter, we fan the flames to give it more oxygen. Air feeds fire and supports its expansion, and fire transforms air into a brighter version of itself. Scientifically, in a fire, oxygen molecules combine with some type of fuel molecules to create a chemical reaction which produces heat. So you may find that fire signs light you up and help you discover your higher purpose, making one of these 3 signs an optimal choice if you're looking for love. Comment what signs you typically get along with best, Libra. I'm interested to hear about your own experience. And please subscribe. I would be so happy to have you with me. So now we'll talk about your fellow air signs. Air with air is considered to be a good match because, of course, it's the same, and therefore there's no elemental contradictions which may weigh down the lightness of your spirit, as may sometimes be the case with the heavier energies of the earth or water elements. The 2 other air signs are Gemini and Aquarius. With these signs 120 degrees apart from yours in the zodiacal wheel, you will usually get along like a house on fire. You can have a lot of fun with one of these 2 signs. Libra's pleasant charm and interest in fairness fits very well with Gemini's amiable and open-minded personality. Aquarius helps you connect with your values and your interest in equality and justice. You both have keenly humanitarian spirits, wishing to make the world a better place. And Aquarius may be just the person to help you discover your higher calling and purpose. I'm not necessarily going in the exact order of which signs I think are most compatible with you. There's some debate among professional astrologers as to whether the signs that are 120 degrees apart from yours, or the signs that are 60 degrees apart, or 180 degrees are better matches. In my astrological practice, I actually see all of the above being true in different contexts. If you want to know the exact order of how I would rank your compatibility prospects, this is my list of the signs I typically see being most harmonious with yours in real life experience, in descending order, with number 1 being the most compatible. But it's kind of splitting hairs. There are good chances for a very positive relationship with any one of your top 6 most compatible signs. Next, we have Libra with another Libra. When you have 2 people with the same sign, there's generally a good sense of understanding. You get where each other is coming from and what makes each other tick. And that can be very positive for long-term relationships because there's a built-in intuitive sense of shared experience. No 2 Libras are exactly the same, but you will share enough similar characteristics that you should be on the same general wavelength. The downside with 2 of the same sign is that it can be like too much of a good thing. There's sometimes not enough differing energies to create a healthy balance. I would advise this pair to put some energy into the areas of life you tend to neglect or things that aren't your strong suits, so that you aren't missing anything important. For example, Libra is a beautiful energy, deeply concerned with how you impact the world. Fairness and justice are very important to you. But in your efforts to do the right thing, 2 Libras together may sometimes wind up being overly objective and rational. Maybe you 2 need a water sign friend who can help you incorporate a little bit of a softer emotional touch into your approach. Speaking of water signs, now we'll get into the part of the video where we talk about the other 2 elements in the zodiac, earth and water. These are not traditionally as compatible with air signs like Libra, with the exception of the water sign Cancer and the earth sign Capricorn. These signs are 90 degrees apart from you in the zodiacal wheel. In terms of astrological geometry, this is a challenging but still reasonably viable alignment for compatibility. While there can be some tension in these pairs, they also offer a galvanizing or catalytic effect. Cancers are some of the sweetest sweethearts in the zodiac. They can offer Libra a lot of gentle emotional support, which can help propel you towards achieving your goals. However, Libra may be a bit too analytical and objective for Cancer at times, and you may find their need to consider things through a subjective, emotional, or intuitive lens to be irritatingly irrational. My advice is to be gentle with your Cancer. They are precious, soft creatures. You need to protect them. Capricorn pushes and challenges Libra to be the best you can be, encouraging you to develop discipline and giving structure and direction to your sharp mind. Capricorn can be pretty demanding of Libra at times, and you may feel overwhelmed by their authoritative nature, but you can also learn a lot from them. So if you're willing to put in the effort they ask of you, this can wind up being a very productive dynamic. The rest of the water and earth signs have no significant classical geometric or elemental alignment with your sign, meaning that your energies have no fundamental association, and therefore these are the signs you will tend to struggle at developing a harmonious connection with the most. The earth signs Taurus and Virgo and the water signs Scorpio, and Pisces. Think about how air interacts with water and earth in the natural world. If air is combined with water, it creates water vapor in the form of mist and clouds. Eventually, the weight of more and more water becomes too much for the air to hold, and that results in rain. So water signs can leave you with a depressive or heavy sensation. Meanwhile, earth cannot really be added to air at all. Air hovers above the solid forms of earth or flows around it. These elements don't typically naturally combine, so you may feel a sense of disconnect or rigidity when dealing with earth signs. There's actually an entire story dedicated to this elemental estrangement in Greek mythology, where the sky god Ouranos and the earth goddess Gaia had a serious falling out and could reach no accord, resulting in their eternal separation from each other, which created the earth and sky as wholly different entities in the way we experience them today. Does that mean a relationship with one of these four is doomed? No, it just means that you will have extra hurdles to overcome with these signs in comparison to more compatible signs. Probably the most important thing to note in this entire video is that these sign comparisons are just the tip of the iceberg. They are barely scratching the surface of what a true comprehensive compatibility reading with a professional astrologer looks like. For example, a full compatibility consultation with me takes about an hour, and this is what I'm looking at. The one sign we typically identify as in colloquial terms, like our sun sign or our rising sign, is just a fraction of what astrologers are considering in compatibility readings. We're taking all these other relevant details into account as well. To truly judge compatibility and offer the best tools to build a successful relationship, we need to consider how every point in your unique birth chart aligns with everything in the other person's chart. That said, for obvious reasons, it would be impossible to cover the entirety of such a complex topic in a short video like this. We have to start somewhere simple. So the information here is a good place to begin understanding your interactions with other people. I just want to make it clear that single sign comparisons like this are not the full story. You might meet a Taurus who you get along with great because everything else in your charts lines up beautifully. Okay, Libra, leave a like if you enjoyed this, share it with your friends and loved ones, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much to everyone who is already subscribed. It means a lot to me to have you on board.